Stop right there. Yeah, you. If you like all things entertainment, current events, or Hollywood, then look no further. Creator to Creators, hosted by director Meosha of Horror Noir, interviews filmmakers and creatives from around the world. Join in on the fun, guest celebrities, and informative information to have as a creator. Hit subscribe and stay connected to Creator to Creators.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Creator to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Kathleen Garrett.
Welcome back to the show. I mean, you've been working, girl. I follow you. I watch all your posts. I'm like, holy crap! I thought I work hard, but you were out there.
You do work hard. You work very hard.
What have you been working on? I mean, you've been doing like show after show.
Well, right now. Okay. Definitely. Well, actually, this year was really busy. I did a wonderful guest star on FBI opposite Jeremy Sisto, and it was a wonderful scene. This one columnist said that I should be nominated for an Emmy. So his mouth, God's ears, for that role. Anyway, and it was Nina Trenholm. I played Rena Trenholm's mom, for those of you who are followers of that terrific show. And then right after that came out Inventing Anna, which I don't know if you know this, girl, but it broke Netflix all-time record for most viewed.
Oh my God. It was so good. And this true story that it's based off of is it's absolutely insane. Like,
it's crazy.
I mean, and when your role in that show, I gotta say, was I loved it. I love this sassiness that you brought to her. Like, she's just this. How was that preparing for that role for Inventing Anna?
Well, it was interesting because what they did, they did do a disclaimer on that saying, This is absolutely true, except for the things that are completely made up.
Right.
So my role, what was interesting is going on set for the first time, and David Frankel, the director, and I both went to the writer because I was a little confused, because it was like, well, is she, because there was two conflicting descriptions of her in the breakdown. And so I went to him and I said, well, this is new now because I had a different breakdown before. And I said, so which one is it? We went to the writer and she said, who was on set. Now, Shonda Rhimes wrote everything, but the writer who was on set said, well, we put your character is a compilation of several characters. So, or several people that are the true part of the story. And so that was kind of difficult. So I just kind of went there, and I was actually quite concerned about the final product that I put out, to actually watch the final show, because I didn't know if I was specific enough. But in looking at the show, I was specific. I played her the way I was like, look, okay, so you're telling me all these conflicting things. So, okay, fine. I'm just going to play her.
Yeah.
And and it worked. And it's funny because I frequent this bistro in New York, Le Baratin in Greenwich Village. And one of the charming, beautiful waitresses, her name is Jo, she came up to me, she goes, I saw you in Inventing Anna, and I just thought to myself, but she's so nice in person. She's really a nice person. So anyway, I thought that was a good compliment. Then the next thing was Laura Bush, playing Laura Bush in
complete opposite roles.
Yeah. Oh my God, in The First Lady. Oh, I've had people not recognize me.
Really?
I was at the premiere. I was at the premiere for The First Lady, right? And so here was the reception, and I'm looking for executive producer Kathy Schulman, because I hadn't spoken to her yet. So I'm standing there amongst, oh my gosh, there were so many people. And these two guys start talking to me about Inventing Anna. So we start talking, blah, 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 and they're going on and on. And then I said to him, I go, well, I play Laura Bush in this. And they literally both went like that. You're Laura Bush? I was like,
Hilarious.
yeah, because we had just seen the premiere, the
Right.
pilot. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I love you. You transformed. Like for a minute, I forgot, but I was like, wow, like you did. I mean, the accent. I mean, it was great. It was great. Completely.
It was tough.
It was tough.
First of all, this was the most challenging role to date. Seriously,
Wow.
to play a historical, iconic, living, famous person.
Right.
I mean, that of whom I will be compared, to whom I will be compared. You know, it was just like and I only had maximum 2 weeks to learn the role,
Really?
to learn who, Laura Bush, to learn how to be her. And I didn't want to do a caricature, and I didn't want to do an impersonation.
Right. You wanted
And
to
I didn't. No, I didn't want to make it my own. I wanted to make it her essence.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's you don't want to do a caricature. You want to. I was thinking about Olivia Colman.
Yes.
Colman.
Yes. Great actress. Yes.
So Olivia Colman, she does the essence of Queen Elizabeth. She doesn't go overboard with the accent, with the tone of the voice,
Right.
or the mannerism. She embodies the essence, and that's what I kept thinking about, and focusing on, is her essence. But her accent is very tricky too, because she's from West Texas. She's from Midland, Texas, and she's well educated.
Right.
And it's not not at all is it your typical Texan accent at all. And there are subtleties in the way she speaks. It wasn't easy. I hired a dialect coach.
Really?
And,
wow.
I had to. And then, yeah, it was that was a very challenging role. And I'm
amazing. Seriously. The mannerisms, like I just was like, whoa, I totally forgot it was you. So that's a testament of like what you did for that role. Like I was like, whoa.
Thank you. That's a high compliment.
Yeah. I was compliment. Like, this is great. I mean, just her it kind of, very powerful woman, but also just her essence, just very like welcoming and safe and like just womanly. Just it was like you just killed it. You really did. Did you watch tapes of her or interviews? Or
I watched one interview that she had on a morning news show, like CBS, like Sunday mornings.
Right.
And I also listened to her audiobook on the plane over. Oh my God. I mean, I really had very little time to prepare for her. And so thank God for my sister, who suggested that I listen to the audiobook. I didn't know she had one. So
me neither.
So I got a sense, I learned her life, and I could hear her voice over and over again, but the interview was good because she was much more candid. She was much more relaxed. Whereas the audiobook, she was reading her book. Speaking of which, I have an audiobook out this month of May. We'll talk about that later.
Definitely.
But anyway, yeah, it was a challenge. And, I'm working with Viola Davis, who is an Oscar winner, a Emmy winner, a Tony winner, a SAG winner. I mean, she is as decorated as they come, and rightfully so. Awesome. She was fabulous to work with, in that there's no ego. There was no ego on the set. And awesome. When we were there, it was the first day of shooting of the Michelle Obama segment, that whole 10 episode segment. And so everybody was, just first finding their feet, first kind of, hi, how are you? Hi, I'm so-and-so. And okay, here we go. But it was really cool because we all got on the set in hair and makeup and wardrobe at the same time. So we hadn't really seen each other prior, except I saw OT a couple times, in the makeup trailer.
Right.
But it was really trippy when I saw Viola because she looks so much like Michelle Obama. It was like, oh, that is trippy, you know?
Yeah, really freaky, right? I was like, whoa. Like her transformation was really like, wow. I didn't when I heard about that she was going to play it, I was like, there's no way. But then I was like, of course it's Viola.
Yeah.
She's
She's
scary.
great. She's great. Viola's, and she was just so, she's so down to earth. She's so lovely. She's so, you know, there's no ego. It was all about the work.
I love
It was
that.
all about the work. And it was just in an incredibly challenging role. You know, it was a very smooth set. It was very smooth. Susanna Bier was great. I'm just really fortunate to have been in that. I auditioned for that sucker 4 times.
Really?
4 times.
Did you go to Atlanta audition, or did you just have it in LA or New York? Would you like?
Well, everything's on remote now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, self-tapes, don't get me started. No, so I was in Santa Monica auditioning. So
Nice.
I was auditioning remotely.
Okay. When did you
That was-
find out Viola was going to be a part of the?
Oh, I knew that from day one. That's why
okay.
I wanted to be in this project.
Oh yeah, heck
I
yeah.
knew right in the beginning it was Michelle Pfeiffer, Viola, and Gillian Anderson, and I wanted to be a part of this project. It's like, are you kidding me?
Heck yeah.
These, you know, if these fabulous actors are going to be in it, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. I'm just thrilled that it happened.
I mean, just talk about powerful women. I mean, good grief. Like that is the ultimate. I bet that was refreshing.
It was something. It was good.
I don't know if you feel this way, but it maybe it's this year. It's been a lot of TV shows based off kind of real characters. You know, we have Candy with Jessica Biel. We have, so many shows. Do you like that where that's kind of going right now with the kind of TV's kind of moving into the real, like it's like back to back. There's so many shows right now. I just finished Candy, which was brilliant. I mean, I heard about The Real Case, but which made me want to see because I love Jessica Biel. What do you think about that? Do you like that where it's going with TV?
Well, I think things are cyclical.
Yeah.
And so I remember doing a movie for television back in the day, and it was a true story.
Uh-huh.
And it was about, it was a true story. And then all 3 networks picked up on the same story. And all 3 networks were having a biopic at the same time. So yeah. And then I think maybe possibly we're in that cycle again.
Oh yeah.
Where they want these scandalous or behind the scenes, little known dramas that are not documentaries, but are dramatized documentaries.
Yeah, really.
Based on the true story.
Yeah, I think that makes the best. I don't know. So far, I really enjoy those kind of stories because it's you almost don't believe it's true. Like in Mindy Annie, like there's no way this is like there's no way this is real. But then you go and you research and you're like, holy crap, there's someone that actually existed that did this.
And then you marvel at for Inventing Anna, for me, Anna Delvey, I marvel at her psyche. It's like, I want to know, see, this is where I wish they would take it to the next level, which would be what causes somebody like an Anna Delvey to do what she does.
Right.
Or Theranos, what causes people, first of all, they get in the highest of levels, they get in the highest levels of society.
Right.
And how do they worm their way into that? What do you think? I mean, I don't know.
It's mind-blowing, actually. It's like, whoa, how?
They have no conscience.
Yeah.
So, they also, I think there's a tremendous lack of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're hurting somebody along the way, it doesn't really matter. Oh, I deceived you. and you trusted me.
Right.
That's your problem, dude.
Right.
You know, it's, but still to get through the door on all those, all those people, all those levels, and, basically seduce them.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene that you had in Indiana with
Julia Garner.
Oh my God, that scene, you're like, come back to me whenever. I'm not saying it's not me. I love that scene. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's kind of like it, but come back to me. I love how you played that. And it was a great scene, but I can't imagine, like, I did for a second, I was like, this actually happened. This is insane. But it's really cool how you played it. So I really enjoyed that. Enjoyed your role in that. So good on you.
Thank you. So you like the way I kind of like put her down? Is that
I do.
Julia Garner is terrific. Julia Garner is terrific to work with. I've been incredibly fortunate to work with such stellar people in the last couple years.
That's amazing. That, I mean, you're killing it. And would you say, as an actress, I mean, you've been doing this for quite some time now. Is there anything that you want to play that you haven't done yet? That you're like, you know what? That's definitely on my list of roles or kind of characters I like to kind of dive in.
I would like to play somebody really down and dirty.
Oh,
some like a real rural kind of, maybe a drug addict or alcoholic. Somebody that's just gonna want to get in there and slit your throat.
Oh, like a monster character, Charlize Theron character role, like something like that, down and dirty.
Oh yeah.
I could see that.
And then I would also like to play a sexy role. I mean, women are sexy if they're, no matter what age, if they're sexy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yes. And then they own it. I think, and that we've through time, I think a lot of women have been told, this is your cutoff age. We don't want this anymore. But oh
my God, look at Hollywood. Look at Hollywood. Give me a break.
Yeah.
You can get a guy who's, I don't know, in his like 70. Mm-hmm. And then his love interest will be a girl who's 30 something.
Very true. It's not fair.
I mean, Sean Connery years ago, I forget the name of the film. This was 15 or maybe 20 years ago, 15 years, I don't know. So he was 70.
Wow.
He was in his 70s at the time.
Okay.
Catherine Zeta-Jones was 25.
What?
Sean Connery's in his early 70s. Catherine Zeta-Jones is 25, playing his love interest in this film.
Whoa. Wow.
Now, let me ask you, are we going to see Jane Fonda in a film with a love interest of a guy 25?
Why not?
Or 30 or 40 or even 50? Of course. But is Hollywood going to do something like that?
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's just, okay, we have a lot of women writers out there doing it, that are on the front line that can make this happen? Is it just not being sold?
It's the money. We are in an ageist, sexist. Well, that's still true, I think, with American culture anyway.
Yeah.
American culture, I don't think really appreciates and respects the elderly.
No.
It's a youth worship culture we live in, which I think is a shame, actually, because the wisdom that one gains as one gets older, because they've gone through life. And if you've gone through life with your eyes and your ears and your heart and your mind open, you're going to learn a few things.
Absolutely.
or a lot of things, so there's wisdom in the elderly talking to the youth, and saying life experiences and respecting that. I think we've lost that tremendously in American culture.
It's so
and
sad.
Yeah, isn't it?
The only way we can change that is we have to see that, right? And make that happen regardless. Like, I'd love to do something like that. An older woman with a younger man. Like, why not?
The problem is money. The problem, of course it would, but the problem is, studios and financiers, they're all looking at it, you know, will it make money? You can do this film in France. You can totally do a film like that in France, because they do films like that in France
Exactly.
all the time. You know, the French really appreciate women.
They do.
I hope we can see more of that. I think there's more outlets. There's more avenues and outlets. So, and there are more women filmmakers and women financiers and executives. And I think we can, I hope so. If we're going to do women, you know, women having a younger guy in scripts, why don't, when they have two women scenes, okay, because now that's the flavor of the month. why don't they have older women and you know what I mean? Why do they always have to be 20 somethings or teenagers?
You know, and that's the thing. That's that's television. I think they do that because it's the men. I think it's men writing.
It's the same thing, but it's the same thing for why a 70-year-old something, you know, guy can, you know, have a love interest of a 25-year-old.
It's true. It's true.
Because of the same reasons you just stated.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we should see that, you know. I mean, I have seen, well, sorta. It kind, well, I don't know if it has been done, but it was the film called oh God, I think it's called Carol.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Carol? Was that Kate Blanchett? I know
Phyllis Nage, who wrote the screenplay and got nominated for an Oscar. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought it was a great film, and
I thought it was terrific.
I thought Kate Blanchett was playing an older character with married, you know, kids, and then this.
That's true. That's true, and
but it always ends. I don't know if you notice in lesbian characters in film, they have like a tragedy. They never have like a happy ending.
Carol ended up well. Carol ended up that they got back together.
They did yeah. You can imply that they were like, I want to start over and kind of talk of, you know, that was it's rare, but usually the stories are just like someone dies.
Yeah. In women relationships, in women to women relationships, yes, there's always some tragedy. It's like
it's so weird.
Why?
I think that we live in an era now where we can write and you know, with indie filmmaking and you can you know, put your own money out on a film or series and get it out there and shop it around. I had a friend right now. He just did a slasher horror thriller movie that's playing at the Fantasia. So good on him. It's a really big film festival event for movies and stuff. Good. So he's shopping it around right now. So it can be done. So it is great to know that we're in that kind of time. To make things that we want.
It is evolving. That's true. It is evolving because we have much more content. We have much more avenues for content.
Yes.
So you have now streaming. You have, you know, we've always had cable, and now you have more indie films. The problem, though, with that is, you know, the money. It's harder to make a living now, even though there's more avenues and content to work. You're not getting paid anywhere near what you once got paid, and it's tricky. It's tricky.
It's horrible now that we don't have that, but I think that it is possible. It's things are changing, so that is a good thing. Oh, you did mention about an audiobook you're working on, right? You're working on an audiobook right now. When is that coming out, and when can we expect that?
It's out right now. It came out in the month of May.
All right.
Where we are, month of May. Yes,
what is it about?
Thank you very much. It is called Nonna Maria and the Case of the Missing Bride by Lorenzo Carcaterra. And it takes place in Ischia, Italy. Ischia is a small island off of Naples.
Wow.
And I play the 75-year-old grandmother and all the other 30 plus characters, all with Italian accents.
Oh, you have, can you give us just a little sneak peek of that? What it sounds like? I'm excited to hear it. Just a little bit, snippet.
I didn't expect this.
I know.
So why don't you come and sit down there and have some coffee? In one chapter, I had to do the Nonna Maria, the middle-aged male carabiniere,
Wow.
the 35-year-old male nemesis, and the 20-year-old priest who converse with each other in the chapter.
Whoa. Wow, go you.
Yeah, go me.
I mean, how do you do that though? That's crazy.
You have to different energy, it's like different descriptions for each character. So you can do a voice that would depict that characteristic. Okay.
Right.
Like there were more men than women. Okay. And I said, look, I'm not going to sound like a guy. Well, baby, but yes, you have to drop the voice and,
right.
Nonna Maria, I can't go there. Nonna Maria, what are you doing here? But still, I know that I'm going to sound like a woman still, because I can't really do a man 100%. Although
That's
that
cool.
sounded pretty good.
That was good. That was good. I would love to play. I can't.
Why not?
My voice is not. No one's ever was like, "Hey, Meosha, do you want to play a role?"
Well, there's so many. The wonderful thing about acting is that there's so many different people you can be.
Yeah.
Because Joni Mitchell has this great lyric, "I see a part of me in everyone." And because we are all a part of everyone. And it's actors are taught, or I was at least taught, to observe from very early in my training. Just watch people.
Yes.
Watch how they use their hands and why they're using their hands. Watch how they speak, their posture. What does the posture say about them? What do their gestures say about them? What about the way they're holding their head, or sitting, or looking at something or someone? Just all these things I never forgot, and now it's just a part of me. It's just I'll observe. It's fascinating. So I think that's what's so much fun about being an actor and playing different roles, is that you really experience. And it's like playing Laura Bush. When I played Laura Bush, I had to really observe and absorb who she is, and how does that translate in the body, in the voice, in she holds herself very very erect, and she's contained in public.
Right.
But there's a generosity to her, and finding that inside you as the actress, as the actor, finding that inside of you that can translate that. So that's the challenge. That's why self-awareness is so important for actors, and actually I think for everyone.
Yeah.
Because we have to go in and burrow in and find out. Well, I played this character years ago, Indiscretions, by Jean Cocteau. Her name was in the show, it was Leo. She was very manipulative and cold, and I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't figure out, because I was having such a hard time with her. I had to go into the depths of my loneliness, into the bowels of my pain, to understand where this woman was coming from. And once I got it, I think it was, and it's considered a dark comedy, Indiscretions, right? We were doing the West Coast premiere. And I was like, how is this a comedy? First night in previews in front of an audience, the audience was laughing. And all of a sudden I understood. I got it. I mean, that's the genius of Cocteau.
Right.
But it was also walking that fine line of pain and absurdity, which made it the Black humor so fun.
Yeah.
So then then it got fun. Yeah. That was a fun role. That was a challenge too, because again, it was so unlike me.
Right.
But it was awfully fun to play. Oh my God, villains are the best.
They are, aren't they? Literally,
best.
they are. It's horrible, but they are. They're fun to play because they have so many layers and just so many. They're so cool. I don't know why. I don't know why, but they just are.
Oh yeah, it's always like the bad person is always so much fun to play. You know.
The layering, it's fun. I think that's what it is being an actor or an actress. Like that's what you want. You want something that's complex, right? You don't want something that's easy to play. You want to be able to go there.
But you know, I think Laura Bush is complex too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was another thing. Was she has many layers because she's a public figure, and the thing is, she's a public figure. And this was behind closed doors. Yeah. And yet it was still, you know, she's talking to the incoming first lady. It was the peaceful transfer of power, which we did not see in this last election.
Not at all.
Ridiculous. Shameful, actually. Absolutely shameful. Shameful.
Oh, yeah. But I love it. I love that they made this, and you kind of get a different perspective as well, you know, of what it could have been.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of the series. Yeah, the first lady. The whole point is from the woman's point of view and what they've gone through. You know, I think it's fabulous.
It is
fabulous.
Fabulous.
I almost went off on a political tangent. You stopped me. You stopped me, and I've said, I don't know. Should we go off on this political tangent?
Well, I mean, I would love to off camera. I would. What advice would you give to just anyone that wants to get in this business? What does that look like? What would you say?
What advice would I give to anybody wanting to get into the business? Well, if they're young enough, I would say go to a really good drama school.
Okay.
Go to a really good theatrical school and go in a place where you're going to get connections. Yeah. So, you know, go in a place where, you know, if you want to be a stage actress or an actor, then, you know, look at schools in New York City. If you want to be a musical theater actor, look at schools in New York City. If you, and there's some other great schools too, not just in New York City, but I mean, there are other great schools too. My point is, make sure they have connections for you to be seen. You know, can you? And the thing about, and if you want to be a film school, you know, if you want to be a film actor, check out the West Coast. But New York really puts out some great actors. But you find out where you're going to get the connections. Okay, who's going to offer you the best connections? That's what I would say, and the best training.
I love that. I love that. The last question we do is like this. So you only could pick one or the other, and then why? So this is one of the bonus ones. I know I didn't tell you this ahead of time, but it's just interesting, little juicy. Okay, loyalty or respect?
Respect.
I love that. Okay.
Respect, because if someone truly respects you, they will be loyal to you.
Love that.
I mean, loyalty is a form of respect.
Right. Love that. Yeah. All right. That's perfect. Great answer. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing.
I win the prize.
Yeah, I know it just goes off and the disco ball just comes down and we just start dancing. No, thank you. I
want a car.
Yes, you get a car. Thank you again. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and it's a breath of fresh air and just such wisdom every time you come on the show. So I appreciate you. We all do, the listeners. Thank you again. I appreciate you.
Well, Meosha, it is my pleasure. I love following you on Instagram. Can I plug my Instagram?
Please plug it. Where can people find you and all that stuff?
I'm on Instagram on this is Kathleen Garrett. So I'd love for you to follow me. Yes. It would be a pleasure. Meosha, you are a marvel. All that you do, you keep moving your feet forward. You know, you keep doing things. I think it's really important for creatives to create
Yeah.
and to not stop creating, no matter what, and to never take no or a rejection as an answer, ever.
Love that.
Because you will fail if you do that. If you take no and okay, oh, that's it, then you've just given up. That's how I see it.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And, on that note, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining us. And always remember to live, love, laugh. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.